Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zombie Anzio, the next custom Call of Duty Zombies on World at War experience. And this map is actually based on an actual village located in Italy, I believe, called Anzio. What a surprise. And we're pretty much playing on, I believe, the local church of this village. So I guess they wanted to make this see as kind of a last stand on this village, even though they didn't really do too much of a good job representing the rest of the village outside of the, well, scenery. But the map looks pretty good nonetheless, and we gotta keep in mind this is one of the more earlier maps that got created as a in the community. So I guess for that I will still give it some good credit. There's this room over here which doesn't really do a lot. There's only like one window where zombies can come in, but there's not any wall weapons I know about, so there's no real reason to even come over here. Aside from it looking pretty nice, but well, that's kind of about it. There's no real strategy you can use over here. Maybe you can camp, but again, there's not a lot of room you can camp in here. Like, the zombies can go over here, so it's not the most ideal spot in my opinion, at least. But alright, I would much more consider it actually the starting room as like a training area. Like, this is a, well, big enough room to actually train yourself in, so yeah, I don't really see the point of that. It looks pretty nice, but it's not really anything you should do in that room. But alright, just gonna keep knifing the zombies. Again, I do not really recommend buying any of these two guns. Instead, you should just focus on trying to become better with your knifing skills here. Because really, once you get the hang of this, there's not really a lot you need in starting rooms most of the time, especially in this map, because really this door is 1000 points. Oh, 1500 actually. That's actually a bit more than I anticipated, but it's still not really impossible to get a good amount of points for the next room and then buy a better gun in the next room. So yeah, you don't really need any of the tool wall weapons if you play like you should. But alright. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna keep knifing the zombies until I think this round is over, or in some cases I may use my pistol, but that's more exception than not. May also rebuild some windows because I want the most amount of points I can get. Of course, there is this strategy that some people use if you really want the maximum amount of points. Like in round 1, you knife, well, you shoot 7 bullets in the zombie, and then you actually knife them to get the most amount of points. But that's very tedious. That's very specific to things, so I don't really recommend everyone doing that, but you can at least try to improve your knifing skills, because again, that's really already giving you a edge on the zombies in the early rounds. So we opened this door. There's the Thompson over here, which I love, like you guys know. There's a trench gun over here. Can get the scoped card 98 and the sniper cabinet over here, and there's a box location. There's not really much going on in this room aside from the guns, the box, and a hanging man over here. There is one more door which leads to another area in the map, but yeah, there's not really too much going on in this map, which is fine. Again, one of the earlier maps created by the community, and I guess it's just something someone made for fun who probably lived in Anzio. I don't really know the background of like the map maker or something, so I can be totally wrong about that. But yeah, I can't really complain. Like, it still looks pretty good for like it being an old map. Like, I've seen much worse, which we'll probably get into as we play more maps. But I mean, I don't think it's going to look one-on-one authentic like the church. That is actually the Church of Anzio in real life. Mostly because, frankly, I don't know. I'm someone who lives in the Netherlands, who actually only has gone to Italy once in Rome for like a school camp, which was a lot of fun, but that's like my only experience with Italy. I've never gone outside of Rome, so I could not know for an inch if this is even a church in this village or anything. But I have more than enough points because of the double point, so I'm going to show you guys this downstairs area. I want you guys to remember that this right here, the mystery box is over here, right? I'm going down here. There's this next room. This is also the final room in the church, and I really do not, on the map actually, and I really do not recommend you guys staying here because really there's not a lot of room. Zombies spawn literally everywhere in this room, so yeah, it's not really too much of a wise decision to stay here. But interesting things over here. First of all, there's a buyable Browning M1919 with a bipod. The reason why this is interesting is because there wasn't any. This is actually the first instance of a custom buyable. Like, it's not a custom gun, don't get me wrong. It's still a gun that actually is in like the normal database of like the weapons. But you were never really able to buy this off the wall, and I believe so is the case for every other official zombies map. So this is pretty cool. That's kind of unique. I may just use that as my secondary weapon today. But the other interesting thing, look what's over here. Another mystery box location. And I don't really want to spoil too much about next maps. Ooh, the flamethrower. Okay. That pretty much is going to kick this out of my secondary slot, because the flamethrower is much better than that, much more efficient. But mystery boxes do have multiple locations it can be at in future maps. But then still, it only gets on one location at a time, unless you have a specific power-up. But that's much later in the life cycle of Call of Duty Zombies. But still, it wasn't really intended to have multiple box locations when this map type actually got created, like the prototype zombie map, which, by the way, prototype stands for Nocturne Totem. Nocturne Totem was actually a prototype, which is the map they called the prototype style map, because it was actually a prototype. It wasn't actually when they were into Nocturne Totem where they actually thought this was going to be a big real thing, but it was so much liked by the community that people wanted more, because it was an amazing game mode. I mean, look at this. People made custom maps out of this entire game mode. That says enough. And I really need more ammo for the Thompson, if I can help it. Come on. Like, I like the flamethrower, but I like the Thompson a bit more. And if I can help it, I will buy ammo for it so I can use it. But I was talking about prototype and everything, and before that, what was I talking about? Yeah, mystery boxes. So mystery boxes weren't really designed to have multiple locations. So if modders were bringing the mystery box to multiple locations, didn't really have those mechanics yet. So instead of having the mechanic of replacing it from time to time and moving it from place to place, it just outright spawns the mystery box at every single location you place it on. Which is interesting. We won't see that a lot in the future, but I guess we can get an advantage out of that. Maybe in later maps that's gonna come in handy, or if they even get multiple locations for the box. But whatever. That's pretty much kind of all there really is to show on this map, if I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. Like, all you can really do right now is just setting up for the map. Maybe get the ray gun if you want to, but this is kind of the bread and butter of this map. Like I said, I do recommend just training on this in this starting area, just the outside of the church, because in my opinion, just the church is only really good if you decide to camp in that location and decide to not open the basement of the church. So if you can live without a Bible Browning, then by all means you have no real reason to open this area. But really, the even better strategy is just to use the Thompson, use the flamethrower, buy some ammo when you can help it, and just train in the starting area, because there's a lot of room you can actually train in. Which really, I haven't really done research about that yet, but I believe training wasn't really something the community invented as a strategy yet when Nocturne Totem or its community maps were actually a thing. So I wonder if when the map maker knew about the strategy, if he would actually make maps like this. But yeah, because I do believe map makers actually do keep those strategies in mind these days, but whatever. So round 7, the zombies start to run around. Of course, it's not gonna be too big of a deal for me. Again, because there's not really too much going on this map right now, I will try to go as far as I can, of course. But I'll be happy if we get to round 10 or above and then just end it for today. Like on later maps, I will most likely try to go much higher, or will not be satisfied until I get to like round 20 or around 30. Maybe even much later down the line, I'll go for round 100 attempts. But really, I don't want to bore you guys with just me going to very high rounds on maps I can't really talk too much about, and then be silent for like 20 maps and ongoing. So of course you could leave me feedback about that if you do still like having me play high rounds despite my commentary. Then of course leave some likes, leave some feedback about that. But I'm not too sure yet. I'll just play around for some fun right now and see how far we can get. At least right now we're still doing pretty good. Round 8 isn't too high either, so I'm not also gonna be very satisfied if we're gonna die right now. In that case, I'll just try again, of course. Alright, almost out of Thompson ammo. I guess this is where we're gonna have to start using flamethrower, because I don't think it's a very good idea to walk into the church when we're in the middle of a round, because you can get cornered very easily by then. Maybe you can do it if you know that all the zombies are around you, but I wouldn't really recommend you doing that when zombies are still spawning in and coming from the church itself. Which, by the way, is taking quite some time, I gotta be honest. I was kind of expecting this to go much faster. Come on. Also, in my experience, I don't know if that's just me, but I'm going to use this nuke. But second of all, I don't really think the flamethrower is faster in killing zombies. I still think that Thompson is doing a much better job at that. Let's see, by the way, if I can get a ray gun from the box, because then I can show something interesting that is... Yeah, maybe that's something I can still show off, but only really... That's kind of situational if we're gonna get the ray gun or not, but there is something interesting when you get the ray gun out of the box in this map. I can't really explain what happens when you get it, but like it's not very good either, but it would make for some fun in the video if I can actually show this. Oh god. Damn it. That went so well. I was kind of hoping not to cough this entire video, but I guess I did. Just right there. But you guys gotta forgive me for that. Oh. I was kind of stuck on that. Yeah, let's see. So I'm always going for headshots. In case you have noticed, like, my scores lately on... like the end of everything. I mean, look at that. 79 headshots. Yeah, for some reason I just have that thing where I know exactly how to aim on the aim for the head. Like even when I'm playing with keyboard and mouse. Like I'm playing with a controller right now and I know that's kind of cheesy and easy, but even when I'm playing with like a keyboard and mouse, I still am very capable of just shooting the head and get a bunch of headshots. Like I have 85 on round 9. That's something I believe a lot of people consider a lot when you're playing zombies. And I believe it's actually going to get even more difficult to get more headshots in later maps and games. So if I'm still gonna be able to do it over there, then I guess that's really good thing. But whatever. Yeah, more training, more reloading, more running, more taking different maneuvers to avoid the zombies. Which this kind of also makes you very good at training, because you gotta be kind of really careful about the way you move around. Again, in prototype style maps, I gotta give it that. Like, the zombies aren't very quick at hitting you on the prototype style map, which kind of makes it a bit more forgiving than other maps. Like, zombies will instantly hit you in later games. Like, Black Ops 1 is kind of the biggest offender in that one, where zombies hit you so fast it's not even funny. Max ammo, nice. In that case, I'm just gonna spray and pray, because in that moment, I don't really care about headshots too much, but whatever. There we go, nice. We got a max ammo. I'm gonna take a sip of water over here. Gotta stay hydrated, always. And drinking some water or sparkling water is a very good thing to do. But whatever. I feel like I'm saying whatever too much. Maybe I should stop doing that. I also feel like, for some reason, the recording is having some frame stutters. Alright, so we're at round 11. Hopefully we can finish this round, because this is also the round we finished on the last map, so it would be kind of weird if we would actually end on the exact same round number we were finishing the last map on. Just saying. I mean, round 20 is not very possible, I should say. I mean, look at this. This is just easy. Yeah, I'm gonna save that for the next round, actually. I think that's a much better idea. Oh, gotta pick it up though. That's kind of the trade-off of that. Alright, so now I'm just going to burn and roast some zombies. This is a moment you can actually just walk into the church. Like, that's not really the biggest problem right now. There you go. And right before the insta-kill ends, I killed 3 more. Also, is it me or are some sound effects just not showing up? I believe some of the, like, your power up has ended sound effects are just not coming in or something. Why did I, by the way, not buy for my Thompson when I was in the church? I have no clue. I like the fact, by the way, that there's a hanging man in this church. Like, I believe the very first time that actually gets a feature, or, you know, that kind of stuff in the actual maps is, I believe, Shino Numa, which is the third map. Which a lot of people that know a lot about the zombie storyline know that's Peter McCain. But then that's very interesting, because I believe that's the only moment where, that was very close by the way, where that got iterated, and that's something that actually is not showing up for a long time. So this guy must have dug very deep into the game files or something in those lines. Maybe it got also used in the campaign, probably, if you ask me, but like, I don't play a lot of campaign or multiplayer on the World at War. In fact, if you want to know, I actually bought World at War purely for the zombies game mode. Like, I do not care about the campaign or the multiplayer of World at War Zombies at all. I said World at War Zombies. Great. Nice. That, pretty much. I only care about Call of Duty World at War Zombies. Like, that's not for all games. I do like Black Ops 1 multiplayer, Black Ops 2 multiplayer. That's kind of the Call of Duties I actually started with. But for World War, not so much. Not really into the campaign. I did finish the campaign on PC on not Veteran actually. I did finish it on Hardened, I believe. But not Veteran. I've seen people play the World of War campaign on Veteran, and I just do not have the patience for that. I did finish the original Call of Duty on Veteran, which is, God, don't do it to yourself. Like, the first Call of Duty actually just had a normal health system, or a different health system from what you're used to on any other Call of Duty. Like, where it automatically regenerates your health, you know. And instead, it actually has a health system similar to Black Ops 4, except you don't inject yourself with some kind of thing that automatically regenerates your health. Instead, you have to rely on first aid kits lying around the map on, like, these campaign missions. But if you play Veteran, those things are nowhere to be found. And so, for the entire mission, you have to survive and get through the level with only like 1 health bar. Imagine if you have to do that for all of the Call of Duty campaigns. Imagine if that's the only way you could play in multiplayer. Imagine in Zombies if you actually only had 2 hits and then you're dead without health regeneration. That's the kind of ridiculousness that's Call of Duty 1 campaign on Veteran. And I don't know if that makes it qualify for the hardest campaign of all time, and I can't really judge about that, but dude, I never want to play such a campaign ever again. And on that note, no, I am never going to play the United Offensive campaign ever, since it uses the same health system. Purely because of that. It's just going to make me so mad that I just do not want to play. And even though I do have it. Round 15, doing a good job. Didn't really have to use my flamethrower too much yet. I'm going to get this nuke. And I don't even have to go to the church. Nice. Alright, even more nukes. Jesus. I'm coughing a lot in this, like, second half of this. Well, I don't even know if this is gonna be the second half of this video, but I'm coughing a lot. Like, in the first, like, 15 minutes, I did so well, and now it all comes out of my throat for some reason. Oh, one more. I'm not gonna die from the last zombie purely because I'm trying to, show a concept or flaw in a map again for a second time in a row. That's not gonna happen here, ladies and gentlemen. I am genuinely going to try and get a high round here. Oh! And wow, I'm not sure if that's because I made a mistake or something, but whatever. Round 17 on Zombie Anzio, 150 headshots. I believe I got 149 last time, so I guess that's an improvement. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are satisfied with me, with whatever I managed to show on this map. I believe it's pretty much everything on here, but whatever. Again, bad at outros, so I'm going to end it right here, and I will see you in the next Zombies experience, which we're gonna archive right then. So, see you guys right there.